Learn these tricks, and anyone can become a magician. Unveiling the world's greatest magic tricks, slicing a body in half is no problem. It's as simple as it looks with no fear of blood. Throwing darts blindfolded, no worries. They'll fly through the air but never hit the target, making a person disappear. Easy, just say the word and the magic happens. Let's explore the fascinating truths behind these incredible illusions. In UMBR 8 body cutting illusion, a live person climbs into a box. With their head and feet sticking out on either side, the magician then picks up a large blade and, right before the audience's eyes, slices the box in half. Despite the body being seemingly split in two, the head outside the box continues to talk and laugh, leaving the audience both thrilled and horrified. What's going on? Could the person inside the box really have supernatural powers, staying alive without their lower half? Of course not. No one would willingly allow themselves to be sawed in half for a magic trick. The secret behind this illusion is almost comically simple. The assistant who climbs into the box isn't just one person, it's two. One person sticks their head through the hole in one end of the box, while another person extends their legs through the other end. This creates the illusion that both the head and feet belong to a single individual. The magician makes sure to cut the box exactly between the two people, no matter how sharp the blade appears to be. It will never harm either assistant, as the knife is merely slicing through the gap between them. The trick's genius lies in using parts of two different bodies to create the visual illusion of one person. It appears as though the magician has cut someone in half, when, in reality, it's just two people cleverly positioned to fool the audience. In UMBR 7, a floating trick. This is a magic trick commonly seen on the streets, and while it's become quite overused, it has still managed to fool many. Typically, the magician dresses in a long robe, leaning on a mysterious-looking cane, seemingly floating in midair beside it, while sitting cross-legged, giving that impression that they possess supernatural powers. But, of course, there's no real magic involved. The secret to this illusion lies in the magician's robe and cane. The cane is not just an ordinary prop, it's specially designed. Hidden within the cane is a small, sturdy seat that can easily support the magician's body weight. During the performance, the magician sits cross-legged on this concealed seat, and the flowing robe covers the structure, making it invisible to the audience. From the outside, it looks like the magician is levitating, when in fact, they're comfortably sitting on a hidden support. This floating trick, while visually intriguing, is actually quite simple. Anyone paying close attention should be able to figure out the secret behind it. However, some older individuals or those not inclined to scrutinize the details may still fall for the illusion, and these people often become the targets of street magicians looking to impress or scam. Next time you encounter a magician performing this trick, challenge them by offering a regular cane from your own collection and see if they manage to keep their cool. In UMBR 6, the magic tumbler trick. The tumbler trick isn't highly sophisticated in terms of technique, but it's an excellent way to impress and fool children. Many kids who see this performance believe that a real-life tumbler toy exists. During this magic act, the magician stands on stage and leans in various directions, forward, backward, and sideways, often tilting at angles greater than 45 degrees. Just when it seems like they're about to fall, they miraculously return to an upright position, standing steadily once again. Even the strongest core muscles wouldn't enable someone to pull off such extreme balancing feats. The magician's real secret lies in their special shoes. The soles of these shoes are equipped with deep grooves, which are designed to lock onto screws that have been discreetly placed on the stage floor. When the magician leans, all the force is concentrated on the grooves and screws, allowing the magician to maintain their balance and spring back up. As long as the grooves stay locked in place, the magician can tilt and recover without falling. However, this trick isn't without risks. There's a high chance of failure if the magician tilts too far or misjudges the angle. Even with the grooves and screws doing much of the work, the magician still needs a certain amount of strength and control to pull off the illusion smoothly. In UMBR 5, the vanishing pigeon, magicians have the ability to make animals disappear on stage in a seemingly impossible way, leaving no trace behind. While this may appear magical, the real secret is hidden in the cleverness of the trick, not supernatural powers. One of the most classic examples is the vanishing pigeon trick. The magician, in front of an audience, places a live pigeon into a large box. Everything seems straightforward, and the audience is watching carefully. After about half a minute, the magician makes a few dramatic moves, opens the box again, and astonishingly the pigeon has vanished. No one saw it fly away or escape. The secret behind this trick lies in the design of the box. It's not an ordinary box, but one with a hidden compartment. Inside this secret space, the magician's assistant, usually someone small enough to remain hidden, is concealed. When the magician appears to place the pigeon in the box, they're actually handing it to the assistant, who then hides the bird in the secret compartment. When the magician opens the box again, the pigeon seems to have disappeared. Later, when the pigeon needs to reappear, the assistant discreetly places it back into the magician's hands. The entire trick relies on coordination between the magician and their assistant, making the illusion of a vanishing pigeon seem like pure magic. And UMBR4, the name game. The name game is a classic card trick that dazzles audiences with its apparent simplicity. Here's a general outline of how it works. The magician invites a spectator onto the stage and produces a standard deck of cards. The cards are shuffled at random, thoroughly mixing up the order. The spectator is then asked to draw cards from the top of the deck, taking as many cards as there are letters in their name. After drawing the cards, the magician places them at the bottom of the deck and shuffles the cards again. When the magician completes the shuffle, the bottom card reveals a number that exactly matches the number of letters in the spectator's name. It sounds like magic, right? Well, here's how the trick works. During the first shuffle, the magician ensures that the top 5 cards remain untouched. These 5 cards are carefully arranged in order, representing the numbers 1 through 5. So, when the spectator draws their cards, the last card they pull is guaranteed to correspond to the number of letters in their name. After the second shuffle, the magician subtly ensures that the spectator's chosen cards now at the bottom of the deck remain undisturbed. As a result, the bottom card in the deck reveals the exact number of letters in the spectator's name. Just as planned, the secret to this trick lies in the controlled shuffling and the magician's ability to manipulate the deck in a way that creates an illusion of randomness, while actually maintaining the order necessary to pull off the trick. In UMBR3, the knife throwing act. When a magician pulls out the knife throwing act, the audience knows they're in for a thrilling performance. It's a highly intense magic trick that makes the spectators anxious, as they fear the possibility of a bloody accident on stage. In this act, the magician's assistant is tied to a large spinning wheel, while the magician, standing a few meters away, is blindfolded. The magician then proceeds to throw knives at the assistant, aiming for the small gaps around their body. One wrong move, and a sharp knife could seriously injure or even decapitate the assistant. The audience holds their breath, often squinting or looking away, but the magician appears completely confident and calm. While the performance seems highly risky, in reality, the danger is carefully controlled. Behind the spinning wheel, hidden in the spaces between the assistant's body, there are strong magnets. These magnets attract the knives as they're thrown, pulling them away from the assistant and ensuring they land safely. Even if a knife appears to be heading toward the assistant, the magnetic force alters its trajectory. While there are safeguards in place, it's easy to imagine the nerves of the assistant standing there, trusting the trick to work perfectly each time. In UMBR2, the floating glass trick. In a talent show performance, a magician wowed the audience by performing a seemingly impossible feat. He poured wine into a floating glass without touching it. The glass hovered in midair, as if it had defied gravity, leaving everyone stunned. It certainly looked magical, as though the glass had been enchanted to float on its own. However, like most magic, the secret behind the trick is grounded in science and clever deception. In reality, the glass wasn't truly floating. It was attached to a nearly invisible, thin, transparent string. The other end of the string was tied to a small weight, which was hidden inside the wine bottle. The weight pulled downwards, and the tension in the string lifted the glass, making it appear to float effortlessly. Now you might wonder, how could no one see the string? The answer lies in the magician's meticulous planning. The string was extremely fine and transparent, nearly impossible to see under stage lights. Moreover, the magician controlled the flow of wine carefully, so that the stream of liquid masked the string, making it invisible to the audience. In essence, this trick uses the force of gravity, along with a well-crafted visual illusion, leaving spectators amazed and unaware of the hidden mechanics behind the floating glass. In UMBR1, the sudden appearance of a person. The magic trick where a person seems to appear out of nowhere isn't as complicated as it may seem. The secret behind making a person suddenly appear lies in clever misdirection and timing. Before the performance begins, the magician typically shows the audience all the props to ensure there's nothing suspicious, no hidden compartments or mechanisms. Everything seems ordinary. Next, the magician raises a curtain or drapes a cloth over a prop, such as a box or platform. This is when attentive audience members might notice that the magician is deliberately slowing down, carefully arranging the cloth in a precise way. At the same time, visual effects like smoke or lighting are often used to create an air of mystery, further distracting the audience. During this brief moment of confusion and visual distraction, the magician's assistant, who has been waiting backstage, sneaks onto the stage and hides behind the now covered prop. The trick is not about magically making someone appear, but rather about using the time and visual cover to allow the assistant to position themselves. While this magic trick may seem grand and complex, the real challenge lies in the magician's skillful handling of the setup and the seamless coordination with the assistant. These 8 fascinating magic tricks reveal just how simple yet ingenious the methods behind them can be. Maybe you'll be inspired to try some of them yourself.